Hey, Rapid City Christian students. Welcome back to school. Happy first day of school. I'd much rather do this in the chapel, but we're going to do this as a video because we want to keep you all socially distant as much as we possibly can. Today we're going to talk about what you can expect this school year, and I'll let your teachers tell you everything about their particular classroom. But I want to make sure you all get the same exact information about the steps we're taking to keep you as safe as we possibly can with coronavirus and everything that's going on, why we're doing them, and what you can do to keep yourself safe, to keep other students safe, and to help us all have an awesome school year. So, first things first, let's talk a little bit about how this school year is going to look different from previous school years. All right, students, so here's the deal. Knowledge is power. So, let's get this figured out. This is not that complicated. The novel coronavirus, COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2, whatever you want to call it, it's a respiratory virus. Okay, so we need to understand a little bit about what happens when you get it and how you give it to other people and how you catch it. None of this is all that terribly confusing. So grades 6 through 12, you're going to be all squared away here in just a quick second. This is a respiratory virus. Just like any other respiratory virus, it's infecting your lungs. That's these guys. Now, you see the lungs here connected up through the trachea, and they've got only two ways to get out of you, your mouth or your nose. Okay, that's the options for getting a respiratory virus out of your body to infect somebody else. And it's going to come out in droplets that look like this. That's disgusting. And all the baby viruses come on the cloud like this. And if you're sneezing, it looks like this. Now, all those little viruses can float through the air on respiratory droplets. And droplets can be very big, and droplets can be very small. But droplets, like anything, are affected by gravity, and they're going to slowly settle out of the air and land on surfaces if you cough or sneeze on the surfaces. Hopefully we're making sense so far. Now here's the deal. You probably understand this. Little tiny droplets come out in your sneeze. They've got the virus on them. So what's this got to do with my day-to-day classroom activity, you're asking me? And I'm glad you asked, because we got to approach some fun subjects. And I'll just brace you now. Everything your mama ever told you was right. Just accept it. I'm talking hand washing, nose picking, nose blowing. She's right about it all. So when you get home tonight at supper time, you say, "Thanks, Mama. You were right the whole time." So what do you do when you sneeze? Sneeze in the classroom. Let's start with what you don't do. What you don't do, I know you'd never do this, but I've seen it happen. You don't turn to your neighbor and sneeze on the guy, right? Don't do that. Are you kidding me? Cover your sneeze. Because those nasty pictures I showed you of those aerosolized little droplets, those people weren't covering their sneeze, right? Which makes for a good photo. But all those aerosolized droplets can contain a virus that make people sick. So there's some very, very simple things that you can do to keep your classmates and your teachers and the custodians and everybody healthy, okay? Step one, you gotta cover your sneeze, all right? If your teacher's got this kind of situation in the classroom and you can grab that deal and sneeze into it, cover it up, and get rid of that, all those viruses that may or may not be in your sneeze are contained in here, and they're not up here floating around, because as gross as it may seem, when they're up here floating around, your neighbor is still breathing. They better be. If they're not, you let somebody know. But when they're breathing, they inhale, and the tiny, tiny droplets, is very gross because that just came out your nose, those tiny, tiny droplets get in all the way to their lungs, and then we might infect somebody, right? So what if you don't have this kind of deal here? Well, any cloth will do, right? The point is you don't blast your sneeze into the air. That's disgusting, okay? Don't sneeze into your hands. I mean, it's better than nothing, but not really, because if you sneeze into your hands, then you just put all those viral droplets in your hand, and then you touch your pencil, and you touch your table, and you touch your chair, and the next kid touches the chair. Now, that's still not getting in his lungs, but we'll get to that in a minute. So what do I do, Mr. Stecker, if I got a sneeze and it just comes out of nowhere, like a deer on Spring Creek Road? I didn't see it coming, it just showed up. I got an answer for that too, okay? I know it's not glorious, but it's so good. If you got a t-shirt, elbow, right? You sneeze in there. If you get a little bit of boogers inside your shirt, I'm not going to judge you. Your friends won't either. Blast away. Achoo! Right in the elbow, right? Are there still going to be some droplets get out? Yeah, a couple, underneath, right? Any cloth in front. If you can use your shirt and sneeze into that, it's not a very glorious thing because you might get some stuff on there, right? But millions and millions and millions of droplets that you could have just aerosolized, right? Like think a little spray bottle thing of like Windex or something. It just creates a mist. Think of that coming out of your nose. If you can get anything in front, okay? Anything, the front of your shirt, the side of your shirt, a Kleenex. My granddad used to carry around the least glorious thing in the world. We all lovingly called it a snot rag, okay? It had little paisley designs on it. He kept it in his back pocket. Maybe your granddad did too. And he'd take it out and blow his nose, fold it up and put it back in. When I was a kid, I thought that's the nastiest thing I've ever seen. But you know what? He wasn't aerosolizing viruses. He had a cloth, and it's gross, but man, it worked. So get something in front of your nose, corner of your shirt, elbow, something, not your hands, okay? Even if it's a surprise. And if you got to go get a wipe or get a tissue or something, that's fine. If you have a cloth face mask and you're choosing to use the face mask, or if policies have changed from the time I've made this video, which they might, then as gross as it seems, that face mask is going to do the same job. That's what they do. They're stopping droplets. And we're doing the same thing with, a shirt, a Kleenex. You're doing the same thing. Just don't sneeze it all over your neighbor or all over your desktop, okay? And if that happens, grab a wipe and clean it up, okay? Don't just let it sit for the next guy, okay? So that's step one for how to keep yourself safe there. Have you said thank you to your mama yet? Probably not. You're still in class, but when you get home, go do it. Here's the deal. What if your neighbor's not doing his job? What if he or she's sneezing on a table, sneezing on a desk, picking their nose and touching a desk and getting viral droplets on a table? There's a simple solution to this. You gotta wash your hands frequently. Don't skip this. I've seen you skip it. I use the same bathroom as you guys. I've seen you skip it. 20 seconds is a long time to stand here. It's been about 4 and I want to be done. But I'm not. You know why? Because it says 20 seconds. Don't just do this. You got to do this and this and this and this and this. And what we're doing here, if you haven't already figured it out, is all them little tiny viral droplets that were stuck in the grooves of your skin are going to bind to that soap and head on down the sink. And you know where they're not going to go when they go down the sink? Into somebody's nose and eventually lungs. So if you go to the bathroom, wash your hands. If you're in class and you need to go get a drink or something, go ahead and wash your hands. It's okay to wash your hands frequently. It's not a big deal. I hope it's been 20 seconds. It feels like forever. Now, what if you're in class and you can't wash your hands, but you sneeze into your shirt or something? Well, there's a good solution for that too. I'm glad you asked. What about hand sanitizer? Let's say you sneeze in class. You weren't expecting it, but years of bad habits. Oh my goodness, I just sneezed in my hand and now all my classmates think I'm trying to get them infected. What do? Every classroom has a hand pump hand sanitizer, okay? Ask your teacher, may I go? And she or he is going to say yes. You go pump the hand sanitizer. If you want to have one of these in your backpack, be my guest. That's fine. It's fine. I sneeze. Oh no, I touched something and I grab my little alcohol-based hand sanitizer. This stuff is very, very hard on the membranes and walls of the little tiny cells and bacteria and the capsids in viruses, right? So you go ahead, you sanitize your hands until that alcohol is basically, stuck on there, evaporated or whatever, and you're in good shape. The odds of you spreading this through, giving a classmate a high five or something, have gone way, way, way down. Even if that classmate does something crazy like pick his nose, don't pick your nose. I'm being serious. Don't giggle. I know you're going to, especially younger kids, you're going to giggle. Don't pick your nose. Because here's the deal. If you touch the desk or a book or a doorknob or whatever, and there's a droplet on there, and it's got a virus on there, well, that's fine because the door is not getting to your lungs, right? Oh, but if you touch that door and then you pick your nose, even if no one's watching, and it's a little, nope, don't do it because you're putting that droplet right up here and you're going to go, and the air to your lungs. Don't pick your nose. Hand sanitizer, wash your hands. Don't pick your nose. Sneeze into a cloth, sneeze into a tissue. On that note, have a little tiny box of tissues, like those little travel size tissues. Throw that in your backpack too. Then you don't have to sneeze into your shirt. Make logical decisions, okay? Simple decisions that are gonna minimize the odds that we've got a virus going from nose to hand to desk to hand to nose or mouth. If you're touching your face all the time, you're giving that virus a very good opportunity. Any virus, not just the coronavirus, any respiratory virus, give it a great opportunity to get into your lungs, okay? Have a little bottle of this in your backpack. Be my guest. If you don't, there's one in every single classroom. Use that hand sanitizer, okay? Wash your hands. Use hand sanitizer. Let's talk about backpacks. Oh my goodness. That is a heavy backpack. And you know what? Yours is going to be a little bit heavy this year too. Here's the deal. Our lockers and the hallways get very congested when students stop in between every single class to put a book away and get a book out. It creates a traffic jam and everybody's trying to weave in between each other. There's a simple solution to this, okay? It's not terribly fun, but it is terribly simple. You need to have everything you need from period 1 to lunch in one backpack, okay? So here's what's in my backpack. I got a little box of tissues from earlier in the movie. I have a little bottle of hand sanitizer from earlier in the movie. And then I have all my books and binders for periods 1 until lunch. Now, lunch might be earlier or later for you guys because lunch is 45 minutes now. It's a regular class period. Now, you don't have to take 45 minutes to eat your lunch. That's ridiculous. You eat your lunch and then you go to your locker during the lunch hour. You put all your morning classes in your locker and you restock that heavy old backpack to have everything you need for your afternoon classes. So that bell to bell in the passing period, this is a simple thing. You can stay reasonably social distant. You can minimize exposure because we don't have 250 kids stopping at their lockers creating a traffic jam. You got what you need. You walk to your next class and sit down and you're ready to go. Okay? This is an easy thing to do. So pack everything you need. Period 1 to lunch, and then at lunch, switch it out so you have everything you need through the end of the day. Easy fix. Let's talk about masks. So here's the deal with masks. Masks are not required by the school, okay? But it is a family decision. So go home and talk to your folks about this. Understand there are going to be times in your school day where we cannot social distance, right? Passing period, bell to bell, going from one class to another, you can't be socially distant. If you're doing a science lab for the majority of the class period, it's going to be very difficult to be socially distant. The lunchroom, we're going to do our very best, but you might not always be 6 feet away. So with that understanding, go ahead and have that conversation with your family. We want you guys to make the decisions for how to keep yourselves safe and healthy. So please understand that, but we are not requiring masks. First things first, when it comes to digital school, cleaning the school, things of that nature, if you wake up in the morning and you're feeling sick or you're feverish, let your folks know. They can take your temperature. If you're sick, stay home. okay? Don't come to school sick. That creates a whole problem. If you're sick, stay home. If you get sick in the middle of the day and you're feeling hot, we can take your temperature here, okay? We'll call your folks. We'll have you go home if you get sick during the day, okay? Now, every teacher is going to have digital resources at the ready, because if or when, hopefully if, hopefully not, but if we get a positive case in school, we got to close it down for a day, deep clean the whole school, and bring you back. Now, if or when that happens, all your classes are going to go digital, straight to Zoom links on the same schedule. If you had Bible at 8 o'clock, then you've got a Bible Zoom starting at 8 o'clock, and they're taking attendance at 8 o'clock. And you'll have the Zoom link information on your syllabus. It'll be on the learning management system. You type that into Zoom and you attend Bible class just like you always would. So as much as possible, take your resources home with you. This can be different for every class. Some class, you work out of the book all the time. Take your book home with you, because you never know. We could get a call that afternoon and we've gotta close it down and clean it. So we have to be ready to go digital at any point during the year, okay? If your family doesn't have enough laptops or devices for you to get on Zoom, let us know. We will help you out at the school, okay? But we want to be prepared beforehand. We'll be proactive, not reactive on this deal. We can help you out. We can get you a laptop. We can get you online. Those kinds of things that we can do to help you, okay? We want you to be in class. We want you to be in school here. And that's where our teachers want to be, and that's where we want to be. But we have to be prepared as well. And so part of that is taking your stuff home with you in the evening, making sure you have access at home as well. So if any of this is confusing, stop in and ask me. Talk with me or Miss Prawl or Mrs. Hewitt or the front office. If any of this stuff isn't making sense, ask your teacher. We can clear it up for you at the office. But be safe. Take care of each other as much as possible. Maintain your social distancing. Don't sneeze on each other. Wash your hands. Have good hand hygiene. And don't give any virus, COVID or non, ample opportunity to get into your nose or face by touching your face all the time, okay? We're going to have a great school year. I'm glad you guys are here. You're going to do an awesome job. And we're all in this together, okay? Thanks. Have a great day.